So the reason I say this thing is so stupid and why I really want to unpack this thing is I don't understand why the king in waiting would allegedly put out a statement that he has also been I can't say it. I'm trying so hard to be serious. Yeah. Oh, Lord have mercy on us. The king, listen to me. Read my lips when I say this. The king in waiting really would put out a statement saying that he allegedly, he has also been nominated for 2 Emmys. Okay, I'm going to try to keep this serious. The thing that perplexes me, a person like me, is, over the years, we have been told so much by this machine about how they're this, how they're that, how they're so perfect and so brilliant. And for me, it's the desperation that an authentic black-brown woman does a little production where she's cooking sea bass and chilling with her friends and just being normal, being like a normal brown black woman, right? And the desperation of the king in waiting. And that's my issue here, is that they sell it to us about how this thing is so like the best thing since whatever, and how they're so above all of, they're so perfect, they're so brilliant. The day the Emmy nominations are announced of a show that they told us no one is watching, nobody cares, yet it was in the top 10 Netflix things. Now they're desperate. I can't understand. The future king in waiting, the king in waiting. If you were so this and so that, Willie, and so this, everything your instrument tells us, why on earth would you want to compete with your black, brown sister-in-law? But to me, because I always give you guys real talk, whether you like it or not, and those, if you don't like it, you don't like it, and I really don't care. But to me, with these eyes and these ears, this confirms everything that was said. You were a fan of that TV show that this lady was on. Big fan. Big, huge fan. And you didn't want your baby brother to hook up with this lady. Why? Why is that? Because now you're trying to compete with the Emmys. African auntie? Willie? I see what's really going on here. Because otherwise, all that other stuff you've told us over the years about you people are this, you people are that. Why on earth would you compete with an irrelevant, as you've told us, show, individual, whatever? Anyway, I'll leave it there. But I see you. I see you, and I'm inclined to believe what I've heard. That's why. That's why. You can't convince me otherwise. You who believe what you believe, you keep believing it. I know, and I've seen it, because this Emmy thing, why? There's no other reason. Oh. Harry done told us. Anyway, let's leave it there.
Guys, the Rangers have been called out. The vile, hateful Kate Middleton's fans have been called out. Complex Magazine has called them out for their obsession of Meghan, their fixation on Meghan, their need to disparage, discredit everything Meghan does, everything she says. They want to just criticize it for no reason. And I love this for them. The Rangers, Kate Middleton's fans, they're always like, Meghan doesn't talk to her supporters. She doesn't talk to her fans to stop, blah, blah, blah. But they don't say the same thing about Kate. Kate has never for once, as far as I know, come out to say to her the Rangers to stop obsessively hating on Meghan. She's never for once called them to order. She's never for once said, hey guys, stop fixating on Meghan. I'm here. Donate to the charities that I'm supporting. Donate to the charities I'm doing challenges for. Leave Meghan alone. No, she's not done that. But these derangers come into our pages, supporters, fans of Meghan, and expect her to do that. Once again, double standard, placing the onus on Meghan, but never on Kate, to stop her derangers from deranging. But I really love this for derangers. Honestly, it's about time people actually call them out. Like, you're fans of the royal family, you're fans of Kate and William, but everything Kate does, they always have to insert Meghan into it. Fixation. And now they've internationally embarrassed William, claiming he got 2 nominations for Emmy Awards. No, honestly, I love this for the Rangers. Long may it continue. Maybe if more people call them out, they start to realize how unhinged they are and how delusional they've gotten and how everyone actually really sees them and their fave.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon from wherever part of the world you are watching us. Thanks for joining me today. Now, the moment Meghan gets her flowers, the circus immediately starts doing backflips. Look at the playbook. Meghan bags a legitimate Emmy nomination, and instead of just letting her have her moment, these self-proclaimed Kate's Rangers, or let's be real, the derangers, start losing their collective minds. The cope is off the charts. First, they tried to claim she bought the nomination, right? Because that's totally how the Academy works, sure. Then, when that lie flopped, the tabloids rushed in to pretend William showing his face on TV for 5 seconds was somehow a bigger, better lifetime achievement. You literally cannot make this stuff up. For regular people sitting at home, this isn't some high-level media strategy. It's basic, messy hater behavior. You know that one person at work who can't stand to see you win, so they start talking loud about their cousin's promotion just to steal the spotlight? That is the exact vibe here. It's pure, unfiltered jealousy wrapped up in a cheap headline. The funniest part, the mainstream media is finally calling these online trolls out by name. The mask is completely off. The obsession has gotten so loud and so ridiculous that nobody can pretend it's normal anymore. They wanted to drag Meghan down, but all they did was expose how unhinged they look trying to compete with her. Bottom line, Meghan is moving forward, collecting her wins, and living her life rent-free in their heads. Keep typing, haters. The Emmy nomination isn't going anywhere. This is looking real bad for the future king and queen. They are honestly embarrassing themselves on a global stage. They really thought they could control the narrative forever, but the mask is slipping fast. When you're resorting to petty PR games and letting unhinged internet trolls do your dirty work just to undercut someone else's success, it doesn't make you look regal, it makes you look desperate and out of touch. People all over the world are waking up to the double standards, and watching the palace pull these amateur moves in real time is pure second-hand embarrassment.
Can we talk about something that makes absolutely no sense? Meghan gets an Emmy nomination, and somehow, 5 minutes later, people are talking about Prince William. Huh? That's like your neighbour winning Employee of the Month and somebody saying, yeah, but what about the guy across the street? What does that have to do with anything? Seriously. Here's what gets me. Why can't Meghan have her moment without somebody dragging another royal into the conversation? It's almost like some people are allergic to letting her enjoy a win. The second she gets recognised for something, the conversation changes. Well, what about William? What about Kate? What about the palace? Hold up. Can we finish celebrating one person's achievement before opening a completely different chapter? That's how regular people do it. If your sister graduates from college, you don't stand up at the party and say, "Cool, but what did her cousin achieve this week?" People would look at you like you'd lost the plot. Success isn't a relay race. Not every accomplishment needs an opponent. And here's what makes me laugh. Awards are supposed to celebrate creative work. That's the whole point. Somewhere along the way, people turned it into a royal football match. Scoreboard out, teams lined up, everybody yelling from the sidelines. Meanwhile, the actual achievement is sitting in the corner wondering if anyone noticed it. Come on now. Whether you loved with Love Meghan or skipped every episode, the nomination itself is industry recognition. That doesn't magically disappear because someone online wants to start another royal debate. Recognition is recognition. Simple. And let's give Meghan some credit. She could have spent the rest of her life living off the Duchess title. Instead, she's producing content, launching projects, trying different ideas and putting her work out there for people to judge. That takes confidence. Because once you create something, everybody suddenly becomes a professional critic. Folks who couldn't film a 2-minute cooking video without burning toast somehow become television experts overnight. The internet is undefeated. Now here's the bigger picture. Why are we so uncomfortable seeing one person succeed without making it about somebody else? That's not just a royal problem. You see it everywhere. One coworker gets promoted, instant comparisons. One friend buys a house, instant comparisons. One family member starts a business, instant comparisons. It's exhausting. Sometimes a win is just a win. No hidden agenda, no secret competition, just somebody getting recognized for something they worked on. Imagine how much happier people would be if they spent less time counting somebody else's trophies and more time chasing their own. Now that's a strategy I can get behind. At the end of the day, Meghan's nomination belongs to Meghan. Not because people on social media said so, not because fans cheered for her, because that's how the official recognition works. She earned it. Whether you watch the show every weekend or never press play, that fact stays the same. It's really not that complicated. Celebrate the work, respect the achievement, then move on to the next story. Trust me, the internet will survive.
This whole Emmy confusion is one of the funniest things the internet has cooked up in a while. People saw Prince William appear on a TV show and suddenly started shouting, "William is Emmy nominated." And I'm sitting here like, did we all forget how television works? Let me break this down the way I'd explain it to my cousin at a Nyamachoma joint. If you appear in one episode of a show, that does not automatically make you an Emmy nominated. That's like being invited to a wedding and then telling people you got married. No, my friend. You ate the food, danced badly, and went home. The couple got the certificate. Same thing here. The Reluctant Traveller received Emmy nominations as a series. Prince William appeared in an episode. Those are two separate facts. They are not twins, they are not cousins, they are not even neighbours. Now compare that to Meghan. Meghan received an individual Emmy nomination for With Love Meghan. That's her name on the nomination, her work, her recognition, full stop. See the difference? Imagine your local football team wins a trophy. You were sitting in the crowd eating crisps and shouting at the referee. Are you now a league champion? Please be serious. Or imagine you take a selfie with a famous chef at a restaurant. The restaurant later wins an award. That doesn't make you an award-winning chef. It makes you someone who was lucky enough to get a selfie. This is why facts matter, not feelings, not fan accounts, not headlines written to make people click before they finish their tea. And honestly, this is bigger than royal gossip. This is a lesson for everyday life. How many times do people read one flashy headline and run with it without checking anything? Breaking news, sources say, insiders reveal. Meanwhile, the actual information is sitting quietly in the official announcement like, "Hello, I'm right here." The internet moves fast, too fast. Somebody tweets something with confidence and suddenly thousands of people are repeating it like they were in the meeting where the Emmy voters made the decision. My uncle forwards messages like that every day. By lunchtime, the whole family WhatsApp group is debating a story that turns out to be completely wrong. We've all seen it. Now here's the part that makes me laugh.
Some people worked so hard to turn Meghan's nomination into a competition that they accidentally exposed how shaky the argument was. Because if William had actually been nominated, nobody would need to blur the wording, they would just say it directly. But they couldn't, so we got these carefully crafted lines like, "A show featuring Prince William received Emmy nominations." Aha, see that little trick? That sentence is technically true, but it leaves people with the impression that William himself was nominated. That's the kind of wording that causes all the confusion. And this is exactly why I keep saying, read beyond the headline, squaddies. Take 60 seconds, check the official Emmy list, look for the person's name. If the name isn't there, then they are not a nominee. It's not complicated. You don't need a media studies degree. You just need eyes and a little patience. At the end of the day, Meghan earned a legitimate Emmy nomination. That achievement doesn't become smaller because someone else appeared on a nominated show. Apples and oranges, people. Or in this case, a nominee and a guest appearance. So let's keep it simple, keep it factual, and keep it moving. Meghan, Emmy nominee. William, guest on a nominated series. 2 different lanes, 2 different conversations. And once you understand that, the whole internet argument starts looking a little silly.
All right, squaddies, can somebody explain this to me because I'm genuinely confused. Why is it that every single time Harry and Meghan do, well, anything, somebody immediately runs to check what William and Kate are doing? It's like there's an invisible scoreboard hanging over the royal family 24 hours a day. Harry gives a speech. Did William give a better one? Meghan launches a project. What does Kate think? Harry visits veterans. But what about William's engagement? Meghan gets industry recognition. Quick, find a way to bring William into the conversation. Can everybody just breathe for 5 seconds? Not everything has to be the Royal Olympics. Seriously. Imagine your cousin opens a successful restaurant. Instead of saying congratulations, the whole family spends dinner arguing about your other cousin's grocery shopping. You'd be sitting there thinking, can we focus on the person we're actually celebrating? That's exactly what keeps happening. Somewhere along the way, people stop seeing Harry and Meghan as individuals. Instead, every headline that's turned into a boxing match. Red corner, blue corner, ding ding ding, round 1 begins. And the funniest part? Half the time the people involved aren't even competing. The media creates the competition for them. Harry talks about the Invictus Games. The headlines somehow become about William. Meghan works on a television project. Suddenly it's compared to something completely unrelated. It's like watching 2 people play different sports and insisting they're in the same final. One's playing football, the other's swimming. What exactly are we comparing here? Now, I know why this happens. Competition sells. Conflict gets clicks. Drama keeps people scrolling. A headline saying Meghan receives recognition is apparently too peaceful for some people, so instead it becomes, what does this mean for William and Kate? There we go. Now everybody's arguing before they've even read the first paragraph. Mission accomplished. But regular people can see through that. Life isn't one endless contest. Your friend's promotion doesn't erase yours. Your sister's success doesn't cancel your success. Your neighbor buying a new car doesn't mean yours suddenly stops working. There is enough room for more than one person to shine. Crazy idea, I know. And here's something I've noticed. Harry and Meghan could be talking about mental health. The conversation becomes William. They could be supporting veterans. The conversation becomes William. They could be making jam. Yes, jam. And somehow the internet turns it into Buckingham Palace versus Montecito. At that point, you've just got to laugh, because it's getting predictable. The truth is, Meghan has built projects that stand on their own. Harry has causes that stand on their own. Those achievements don't become less meaningful just because someone wants to drag another name into the headline. Sometimes the biggest story is simply the story itself. No comparison needed, no imaginary rivalry required. At the end of the day, people should be able to celebrate one person's accomplishment without treating it like somebody else just lost a championship belt. That's not how life works. And honestly, the moment we stop turning every Harry and Meghan headline into a family scoreboard, we might actually start talking about what they were trying to do in the first place. Now, wouldn't that be refreshing?
Now, squaddies, let's end this on a high note. Because when you strip away the drama, the hashtags, and the endless royal noise, one thing becomes pretty obvious. Meghan isn't standing still. She's building, and that's what really gets under some people's skin. Think about it. She could have disappeared after leaving royal life. She could have lived quietly, done the occasional interview, and called it a day. Instead, she keeps creating. She keeps showing up. She keeps putting new ideas out into the world. Show me one celebrity, one artist, one filmmaker, one musician who's loved by everybody. Oh wait, you can't. That's not how success works. The people who actually achieve something aren't sitting around hoping nobody criticizes them. They're busy making the next thing. And that's exactly what Meghan has been doing. One project finishes, she's already working on another. One chapter closes, she's opening the next one. That's the mindset of somebody who's looking forward, not backward. Now here's what makes me smile. For years, some people insisted Meghan would disappear the moment she left royal life. Remember that? Oh, she'll be forgotten. Nobody will care. That's the end. Fast forward to today. She's still making headlines, still starting conversations, still landing opportunities, still getting industry attention. That's got to sting for the people who are busy writing her career's obituary before it had even begun. Oops, looks like they spoke too soon. And here's the part regular people understand better than anyone. At some point in life, you've got to stop living off yesterday's job title. Think about it. If somebody leaves one company and builds a successful business, do we spend the next 10 years introducing them by their old position? No, we talk about what they're doing now. Life moves forward. So why should Meghan be frozen in time? Yes, she'll always be the Duchess of Sussex. That's part of her story. But it doesn't have to be the whole story. She's proving that you can leave one chapter behind without leaving your ambition behind. That's a lesson a lot of people can relate to. Maybe you changed careers. Maybe you started over in a new city. Maybe you walked away from a situation that no longer fit the life you wanted. Starting over isn't failure. Sometimes it's the smartest move you'll ever make. And Meghan seems determined to keep writing new chapters instead of rereading the old ones. That's confidence. And if history teaches us anything, it's that the people who keep showing up, keep creating, and keep believing in themselves usually have the last laugh. Something tells me Meghan isn't finished yet. Thank you all for watching, Squaddies. Thanks for joining me today. May God bless you all. Please let me know what are your thoughts on this. I am your host, Miles. Love you all. Goodbye.